Hello.
Happy Saturday, everybody.
Yeah, I never know when this thing comes on because it blinks and blinks and blinks, and then I'm like, okay, I'll just keep talking.
That's it.
All right. So, today is Agenda 43. I'm Krista Rue from HLC Bookkeeping and Office Services.
Christina Rue from the same.
Yes, and the purpose of Saturday Solutions is to talk to our friends out there about things, our clients, or that's in the news that could affect our business. And this podcast or live thing is for anyone in business. So you can be the owner, you can be a manager, or you could be someone who wants to be a manager. And what should I be thinking about in order to get that position? So let's recap what we talked about last week. So last week we talked about what do you do with all those extra business cards you get at all those great networking events.
How do we organize them? What's going to happen to them once they're in the computer system or in a little binder thing? What do you do with them?
So we said about using the other list in QuickBooks, other names list, and that way you can keep it all digitally and get rid of all those cards.
Yep.
And once they're in QuickBooks, you can print them as labels if you want to do a marketing campaign. If they become a vendor at some point, you just go to the other names list, make them a vendor, and all their information comes down.
Scooch them over.
That's it. Other things, if you don't use QuickBooks, you can make an Excel spreadsheet. One of the things we suggest is that you have 3 address columns, because sometimes you have a building, and then sometimes you have a suite, and sometimes people are crazy. They have suites and something else. So sometimes you need 3 columns.
Yeah.
So that's helpful for whenever it's printing as a label list to make it work. The other thing we talked about is what are some of the best advice you've ever been given. And I hope you have been thinking about that, because really, I don't know why we don't use the wisdom of people who have been there before.
You've gone before.
And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. And then Christina's topic was anticipation. I'm sure I don't say that as fun as her, but whatever. All right. So.
And that was just about anticipating the needs of others in your
right.
life, where you live, work, and worship.
That's right. So, and now today is the first Saturday. So normally we do an off the bookshelf. But we had already had 3 topics, and I'm like, well, which one would we check and move to next week? And we didn't want to do that. So we're going to talk about the 3 topics we already had planned, and then next week we'll do the off the bookshelf, which is professional education that you should be doing all the time. Yes, anything that's improving you as a person,
as a human being,
in all facets of your life.
Correct.
So, the very first topic we'd like to talk about is block scheduling.
Yes.
Yes. And I actually made a little example. Christine, you might have to go up closer. All right, so people can see it. Because what I like to use is, I use Google Calendar, but there are all different types of calendars you can use.
Tell me, is that
all right,
good?
So that's good. Yep, so you'll see there's different colors and different topics. You can go closer because I kept it generic. So the first column you'll see is all purpled out because it's a holiday next Monday. So I'm not going to be here. So don't schedule. It says out of office. Then on Tuesday, what I do is personally, if it's a family thing, I make it blue. Or if it's like something for me personally. So that I know just looking what it is. You'll see the grays at the bottom. That's office admin work. Okay? And then the next column you'll see Orange I use for advertising. So I know this is an advertising event. So it tells me immediately, do you have your business cards? Do you have the flyers you need?
You or just the flyer?
Just a flyer, and that's good. Yeah. And then red I use as this is an appointment that cannot be changed. Period. No excuse.
And stop.
And stop. Right. And then in the last column, you'll see I have a block that says client A, client B, client C. Okay. So what I do block time, and it's green because that means I'm making money. Because we don't do this for free. Okay. So this is a generic example of how I use block scheduling for all of my people in my office. Because this tells me at a glance what they're doing, what they need. Since I do the scheduling for most of our clients, unless Christina goes off the rails. And
it has been known to happen.
Has been known to happen. So she's not allowed to schedule anymore.
No, I'm not.
But that's okay, because her skill set is other things, and my skill set is crazy administrative stuff. So, and I enjoy it. This is something I enjoy. So again, that sort of leads perfectly into our next topic. So block scheduling, though, it can change your life.
Yeah.
It really can.
And you must include travel time.
Oh, thank you for saying that. Because in that blue, I don't know if you could read it, but it said, doctor's appointment for family, Monroeville, 9:30. So I blocked out 8 to 12. So that gave me time to pick up who I needed to pick up, time to get to Monroeville, the actual appointment, and then time to drop them off and get back to the office. So, like, don't schedule it just, I'm working here 9:30 to 10:30 on something.
Yeah.
Do you have to go anywhere? Is there other things you should think about?
Yep.
So, like, you'll see on the other column, I had left a time between client A and client B. I'd put my lunch break in there. And then the next client was a bigger block because it's one of our bigger clients.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and we do minimal 2-hour blocks.
Yeah, 2-hour blocks, because you can be so efficient, I have found, in 2-hour increments where one is just not quite enough. Because remember, part of it is then, okay, you've done all this processing work, now you've got to file it. And if you don't give yourself time to file, it just stacks.
We don't like that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't like it, but I'm very guilty of it. So I actually have an employee that comes in. To me,
I know how these turn into like
confessionals. They really do.
The mistakes we've made that we would like you to avoid.
Exactly. Listen to our wisdom, people. We've learned this stuff.
Or lack thereof.
Right. And like, I know filing is a problem for me. Mm-hmm. I know it. Yep. So I actually bring in an employee that all we do is file. Yep. That's it. Because that keeps me accountable. Mm-hmm. I know that at this time, every week, all my clients get
And
filed.
she keeps you on task.
Yes, she does. So, and that's good. Mm-hmm. You need someone who's good like that. Mm-hmm. So, thank you, Luann. Mm-hmm. All right. Now, so the next thing that we wanted to lead into, because remember, this is something I enjoy. I enjoy it. She hates it. So we have learned as a business, we stay in our lane. Mm-hmm. Okay. Expand on that.
So this was, I was at a client, and one of the interns that was...
Do you hear that? An intern
that was at a client's had made a sign that said, stay in your lane. Because we, who are in... demand for our time, sometimes we just want to help everybody succeed, and we want to keep moving them forward, but sometimes that's to the detriment of the work we have to do.
Yes.
So I just laughed and laughed and laughed. I'm like, this is so simply fabulous. Stay in your lane. If it's not what you're supposed to be doing or working on that day, you can give your wisdom, but you have to stay in your lane and keep moving forward on what's on your schedule. So share your wisdom, but you have to trust the people around you. Let them do what they're good at. Share your wisdom, stay in your lane, and keep moving forward. But I was just like, see, out of the mouths of babes, they remind us. So it's like generationally, they don't have to be older than you to have wisdom.
That's right.
They can be younger, because, I mean, look at, we had, you know, in our family, sometimes men and women annoy each other. And so my mom said to my nephew, what are we going to do about Pappy? And my nephew, in his wisdom, said, just love him.
That's all.
That's it. I mean, wisdom of younger generations. So don't be afraid to take advice from younger generations.
That's right.
For sure.
All right. And then, speaking of generations, our third topic.
This is a serious topic.
It is a very
And
serious.
right now it's dividing our country.
Yeah, it's called, we're going to talk about understanding legacy.
Mm-hmm.
And legacy is many different things. But it's basically how you want to be remembered, mm-hmm. and what are you leaving in place for those that come after you.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you want it to be something positive? Do you want it to be, I'm sure you do, but that's why you have to ask yourself, is this worthy of legacy? Mm-hmm. And how do I plan for it?
And also, when is the time to say when? When you aren't on your A game anymore, or you don't have that wisdom that used to come so quickly to you. You have to be able to recognize that. And if you cannot, those around you who love you need to recognize that for you. And so all over the country now, people are debating age and how old's too old or whatever. And
age isn't the question.
No, age is irrelevant.
Capacity.
Correct.
Yes.
It's capacity. So I think we as a country need to remember that it is good to look up to those who have led us in the past, but we also need to recognize when it's not a good thing to have that same leadership moving forward. And this is tough for family. This is tough for friends. This is tough for even business colleagues. Whenever you see people we had a very good friend who she came to us and was like, I have to know when to say when, and this is my time to say when. I'm not doing as well mentally as I want to be. Correct. And so, this is where I think we have to kind of put our pride aside and talk.
That's right.
Just talk.
Plan. Because, we all know when it's coming. I know. I used to be a whiz. Mm-hmm. I could go like this all the time.
I can't do that with my rheumatoid arthritis.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's a concern, too.
It is.
Because, she does a lot of typing.
I do.
So as that progresses,
mm-hmm.
what's our plan?
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to have to get, what is that, Dragon software where she speaks and it types for her? Mm-hmm. It's okay to recognize and give yourself some grace.
Absolutely.
But look what I've accomplished. Mm-hmm. How do I keep that going if I'm not in the equation?
Yep.
That's all this is.
And it's also about, it is a honor to be given the reins. It's an honor. So whether it's within your political party, within your family, within your church, within whatever, it is an honor for you to be chosen to follow in the footsteps of those who've gone before you and made a difference. So I think we need to keep in mind, we need to honor the people who are leading us. And we need to pray for them. And we need to ask that those who are close to them and around them and care for them, maybe help them make a decision that's going to be a tough decision to make.
That's right. And it's not political because we see it on both parties. We've got issues here. We see it in everyday life that there might be
families.
issues here.
Yeah.
Right. So we're just saying be conscious of it. Be loving in the discussion. Because you could also come up against someone who doesn't see.
They don't. That's correct.
They're having some issues. So, just pray for the right words, for the right wisdom that speaks to them. But you have to speak the truth.
That's it.
Period.
Yeah. So I know that's kind of very serious and it's a heavy topic, but we have to be able to talk about this. We have to be able to talk with each other. We have to be able to talk with those we don't agree with. We have to be able to talk and recognize what is the best way to move forward for everyone.
That's right. Because, Christine and I are twins.
Yeah.
So,
the eggs split evenly.
Sometimes I wonder. But.
What is that called, though? Because we're one egg. What is that called? You can be
identical.
Oh, yeah. Because we came from
fraternal,
right? That. Thank you.
Okay.
See? Words.
But anyways. But, I have said to her, hey, if you see me slipping on something, you have to keep me accountable. And I do the same for her.
Correct.
Because, yes, we're sisters, so we should do that personally. But we're also business partners, so we have to do that from a business perspective as well.
Absolutely.
So, for whatever role you're in, it could be church people that a committee chairman isn't getting it done anymore for whatever reason. But again, they've lovingly served the church. So how do you broach that subject? What are the steps to take? This is when you as a person need to be praying on it and thinking, and whatever you do, you approach it with love.
Yeah. And even going biblically speaking, where there's that anointing, the anointing of the next generation. Again, the honor of being chosen to serve. And that's what we're doing. Everybody who comes behind you are being chosen to carry on that legacy. Whether it's a business legacy, a church legacy, a family legacy, whatever. They're being chosen to keep it on. And on a lighter note, my mom was devastated yesterday to hear I don't like picnics. And so she's like, well, when I'm gone, who's going to do a picnic? Not me. Not me. I don't like bugs. I don't like hots. No. But I probably will. But you know what I'm saying.
Right. But talk about this stuff. It needs discussed.
Yeah.
Period.
You can't be an ostrich.
No. So, so those were the things we wanted to talk about today. So again, if you have any questions on what we do or how we can help you, our phone number is 724-561-7460. Our website,
hlcbookkeeping.com,
and our email, office@yourhlc.com.
Yep.
So, and I want to wish everybody a wonderful, blessed holiday weekend.
It's perfect on Labor Day to talk about those who've labored before us.
It is.
They've built our country. They've built our family. They've built our houses of worship. I mean, the people who have gone before, I mean, what a difference they've made.
Yes, they need to be honored, respected.
Yep.
And when it's legacy time, it needs to be recognized.
Yep.
That's all. All right. Well, have a lovely day. It's gorgeous out here.
It is.
Really pretty day.
I like this weather.
I know. We might be quitting a little early. All right. So have a good one. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us.